Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I am Army Piper. This is the Piper Academy channel, guys. Got a mixed market today on this opening here. A little bit of red, a little bit of green. Looks like the stock market right now is opening a little bit in the red on the S&P, down a very slight percentage there. NASDAQ down about 0.1%, and the Dow Jones holding pretty low. Russell 2000 down about 0.5%. We are looking at all of that, guys. We did get this critical level here on the Bitcoin chart. I call this the trade fly zone right here. Okay, right there. This is our 2021 top here that you see over here on this side. Then this is where we just rejected off of that zone again, getting a little pullback. We're going to talk about the levels that we're going down to today and where we can look for some support. Where are we getting into our long trades? And we're going to be breaking it all down for you guys today on the Morning Market Report. Let's get it, guys. Class is in session. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to I'm glad to have everybody here. Welcome to the show, guys. We break down the news, break down the economic events, break down the charts, and tell you guys what you guys can expect for the day. If you are new here, please don't forget to hit that like button, smash it up, hit subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Get notified every time we go live. But I'm not doing the show alone today, not like yesterday, folks. I do have my partner in crime, my co-host here, the OC guy. What's up, bro? How you doing today, man?
I'm doing fantastic. This time I don't have Bitcoin power. It seems everything is going right and good. And not only my power is not going down, Bitcoin is going up. I mean, it has been a crazy couple of 2 days. I mean, this week has been amazing. Amazing to say the least. Other than that, we'll see. Those big movements usually comes with big retracements, or at least some sort of ranging. Which, guys, it's not a bad thing. I would say the possibilities to start maybe reconsidering re-entries, possible, capital rotation, so on and so forth. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing throughout this week. Maybe starting today, I'll start planning for my next capital rotation, and we'll see how it evolves and how I manage my risk throughout this bull run.
But absolutely. Yeah, I am watching for a little bit of consolidation. I think we're going to have a little bit today. So, but that's okay. I mean, we've had like solid pumps just over and over and over. I'm looking at a 3-day chart here just real fast. I'll show you this. Looking at this 3-day chart here. I mean, we've had that each candle's 3 days. There's 9 days of just pump, just straight up pump. You can't, it's not, you got to have consolidations. Even going back and looking back here, you know, we had this period, you know, we 3 up consolidation, 1, 2, 3, 4. We had a doji, so 3 and then a doji of uncertainty, and then another 3 up and then a pullback again. So it is in that routine of, you know, 3 big candles up, right? 3 big candles up, and we start to do this little play. Guys, we are in that cycle. So, I mean, and we did get this amazing rejection that TradeFly talked about a long time ago on our 2025 Bitcoin prediction video. He talked about this line, this zone line that came off of, you know, you had the bottom of this being some of the levels here, the smaller candles here, and then you had the top being the 2 that were in line. And if you take a look, I mean, it definitely is in play. So a little bit of consolidation. We'll see how far down we're going to go. We'll break all that down today. But I just wanted to, you know, let you guys see exactly what we're seeing there. So let's go through the chat, though. Let's give a shout out to the people in the chat. Username was in here first. He was in like 51 minutes early. He said, I'm here just waiting. 61 more minutes to go. Much love to you, username. We appreciate it. Username said, OC, what's up? When we hit the club, BC Port Corp in the house. If you guys didn't watch Good Morning Crypto, you guys should go check it out. BC Port Corp is absolutely crushing it over there. And we're going to work on an intro for him so that he has his own intro. Now that Lunar Beaches is on a 1-week hiatus and going to be starting Markets After Dark soon. So be watching for that. Who else we got in here? Alexander G, the best mod in the business. The mod queen is in the house. Appreciate you being here, Alexander. You are amazing. Ninja Glock in here with us right now. We got, of course, the OC guy. Kyle Fields is in here. Harp, good morning to you. Crypto Coin Mindset We got Average Crypto Joe in here with us also. Eric Wallen, Eric Devious, the troll that everyone loves. Hey, everyone. He says, hey to you, bro. I took profit yesterday on CleanSpark. That might have been a good idea. Donato Cabrera in the house with us. Brakoshi, no dinero. I love that name. Who else we got? Trade Intuition, Joe. If you guys don't follow Joe, you guys need to go check out Joe's channel. Alexandra, can you drop a link to Trade Intuition show in the chat for us? You guys need to go subscribe to Joe. He is dropping some amazing trade setups every day and just teaching you. Like, he's not giving you fish, he's teaching you to fish. And I think that's way more valuable in the long run. So you guys need to go check him out. Very, very good trader. Who else do we have in here? Baba Yaz is in the house. He said, Piper Academy, good morning, time for coffee. I got my coffee, bro. FD White Invest in the house. Co-host of the #1 show on Piper Academy. I gotta put that out there. Nancy Croy is in here with us. Also, yeah, can you drop FD White's personal channel also? That would be awesome too, Alexandra. I appreciate it. Thanks. Emil Rosu, guys, you are the bomb. No, you are the bomb for showing up here. We appreciate it. Fading Trade Fives in here with us. Crypto Candy in the house with us also. And I think, Mike Play. Did I miss anybody? I think I got them all. Let's go. Let's get into the news, OC, and let's come back and let's talk about what we're seeing on the charts because we do have some interesting things today. Interesting perspectives going on, what we could be seeing in the markets in the weeks ahead, in the months ahead. Right now, guys, let's give this a refresh because I'm sure this may have come down just a little bit. Yeah, just a little. We're at over $3 trillion market cap right now. Senior Green, good morning to you also. Trade volume is up. I told you when I see the market cap up, I want to see the trade volume up, right? It tells me there's strength in it. 65.8% there on that. Let's jump over and take a look at this though, guys. In the past 24 hours, I don't know if you got, let's bring this in. Can you guys see that? There you go. In the past 24 hours, 280,294 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations came in at $1.07 billion, guys. It's a crazy amount there. The largest single liquidation order happened on Binance. It was for Bitcoin. $15.7 million on a single trade got liquidated for $15 million. Good lordy. Let's refresh the crypto bubbles here. We can see on the daily, we are starting to get some red coming in. Looking at the market cap on the daily, Bitcoin still up 4.4%. ETH still up 2.8%. Solana's down 4.7%. ADA's down 3.6%. We got XRP up 11.3%. Look at you. And Doge, guys, Doge, shout out to FD White. He's been telling you for a while, hot minute. Doge 24.9% to the upside. Let's go over here and look at the hourly and see how things are looking. We are seeing some green. Theta, Immutable X, Axes, near. These are all things that are pulling to the downside. Let's look at the amounts here, guys. Bitcoin is at $86,026, up 4.4% on the daily. Ethereum up 2.8% on the daily, sitting above 3,000 at $32.71. Solana's at $209, doing a little pullback here on the daily of 4.7% after a 26.2% upside move for the week. Dogecoin is up 24.9% for the daily, guys. A smoking 107% on the weekly there. Alex Prolific Crypto. So what's up with you, bro? Appreciate you being here, guys. Let's go see what XRP is doing. It's at just under 65 cents, up 11.7% on the daily there. Cardano down 3% after a 71.7% move. We talked about Cardano before it did this move, guys. We were talking about on the all-time high chart. We may go back and take a look at that today just to see what's changed on that bottom end. Because we talked about Cardano, Chainlink, Doge, XRP, there was some other stuff that was on there that was really low. Oh, Avalanche, which is up 41.2% on the weekly here, up 5% on the daily, sitting at $33.89. We talked about all of these things like, look, these are the furthest away from the all-time high. If I had to look at risk to reward, that's where I would be looking, is in the bottom of this list, and those things have absolutely crushed it. Shout out to Falco dropping a gifted membership to Piper Academy. We appreciate you, Falco. We appreciate you. There you go, guys. Appreciate that. Now went out to Randy. He got that membership. So Randy, a longtime viewer here on the show. We appreciate you guys. But yeah, Avalanche here is up a position to number 12. Any big movers here? Not really. Avalanche up 5.1%. Tron's up 6.9. What do we have for position moves? I'm curious to see what Chronos guy. We talked about that one too. That was on the all-time high list. It is the native token for crypto.com. So it is up 19.5% on the daily, 143% on the weekly. And you can get this on crypto.com. I think it also might be on Coinbase. I'm not sure, but up 2 spots there to number 24. Render is climbing back up the market cap, also moving up 4 spots there to number 28. It is at 10.2% upside on the daily, 53.5% on the weekly. Let's jump into the economic data this week, guys. Just a bunch of Fed speakers today, a bunch of politicians, bank-owned politicians, speaking about the economy. That's what they're going to be talking about. So just keep in mind that's happening throughout the entire day. They may say something that moves the markets one way or the other. Shout out to Trade Intuition. He just gifted 5 Piper Academy memberships. Let's go, man. Let's go. Appreciate it. Who all got those? We got King Juve was gifted 1. Dave P was gifted 1 in here. I'm not seeing the rest. We'll see. But I appreciate you, Trade Intuition, man. You're amazing, bro. Jesse Gellick said DGen is up 141.3% on the daily. Good. Got it. Dusty Hunt was gifted a membership. Oh, Swag Schmitty was gifted 1. There we go. And then NW. I appreciate it, man. Trade Joe, you didn't have to do that, but I appreciate you, bro. Much love to you guys. Tomorrow, that's going to be the big data. We're going to get tomorrow morning, an hour before we go live, we're going to get core inflation rate year over year and month over month, the inflation rate, and then the inflation rate year over year. So right now, it looks like the year over year is going to come in a little bit hotter, a little return of some inflation there, but on the month over month, it should be neutral. When we look at this core inflation rate, it should be neutral. And when we look at the month over month, should be neutral. So no big crazy numbers tomorrow. That might be why we're seeing a little bit of pullback, because people are just kind of like, man, if we get a bigger number than we're expecting on this inflation rate after we're cutting rates, like you cut rates, you don't cut rates when inflation's still going up normally. So that might be why we're seeing a little sell-off today. People concerned, just taking their risk off the table with this type of data coming out tomorrow. Just be mindful of it. Looking here at the fear and greed index, guys, we are at 80, extreme greed right now on the multifactorial crypto market sentiment analysis. It's the fear and greed index. We know what it is. We'll talk about that. We might get into this chart here from Rect Capital here in a little while, talking about how long we have in the cycle. I think everyone pretty much knows it is October 2025 based on historics. However, I do think that we could see some pullback after Q1. So, I did want to talk about this. Let's talk about old Peter Schiff here. Let's get that up here. Here we go. You guys ready for this? And then let me know in your chat. Let me know in the chat what you guys think of this. Peter Schiff said, this was the 11th. So yesterday he put this out at 3:23 p.m. He said, Bitcoin, crypto, and blockchain will likely go down as the biggest example of popular delusions and the madness of crowds in world history. The overall losses when the bubble finally pops will be staggering. It's not just the speculators who will be left holding the bag of worthless Bitcoin, but also the investors who funded all of the infrastructure and related businesses. This is likely the biggest misallocation of resources in human history. Not only will the net losses to society be staggering, but Bitcoin itself will do more to tarnish the reputation of libertarian capitalism and the concept of sound money than any failed government program ever has. Peter Schiff, I think you're an idiot. Thank you very much. Have a great day. You go ahead and buy your gold. That's had a little rally this year after 20 years of being a sinking ship. I'll take Bitcoin over gold any day. Any day of the week. So, yeah, we'll talk about this one too. Wave 3, Michael Pizzino talking about where we are in a 5-wave cycle. Oh, this is a great one. We're going to talk about this, then we'll go get into the Bitcoin chart. Get down there. All right. Wondering what's happening with Bitcoin? Bitcoin was the single biggest winner of the 2024 election, and it's not even close. So far, 50 out of 58 candidates for U.S. Congress backed by pro-crypto PACs have won their races. The craziest part? The remaining 8 races have yet to be called, with many of those races also being led by pro-crypto candidates. Here's a breakdown of what happened, and we'll just come down here. I want to talk about the first couple. When looking at the U.S. House, 45 candidates backed by pro-crypto PACs were both Republicans and Democrats. Not just Republicans, guys. In fact, there were a total of 26 Democrats and 19 Republicans. This was not a partisan-based campaign. It was simply the candidate that supported crypto. That's who won the elections, guys. It is pretty impressive when you look at that. The total of $245 million was spent on pro-crypto candidate donations, according to CNBC. Donald Trump's campaign raised more than $22 million from crypto sources. Never in history has crypto had the influence in an election as it did this year, and it's not even close. Crypto PAC spent a whopping $40.8 million on the Ohio Senate campaign alone. Moreno won that election. That was a pro-crypto backed. And then crypto market cap above $3 trillion. We are seeing one of the largest Bitcoin short squeezes in history as we speak. OC, would you call that, when you have that much money coming from one sector, would you consider that prepaid lobbying? Are they buying their position? Or is it no different than when, you get the Jeff Bezos and the Bill Gates of the world and the, Meta Zuckerberg throwing their hundreds of millions of dollars? I mean, come on. Kamala Harris, who, by the way, has $20 million in debt on her campaign right now. $20 million. And Trump has said, don't worry, we have leftover money. We'll help you out with that. No joke. Seriously, he said that. She paid Oprah Winfrey $1 million out of the campaign money to interview her. Is this any different? These crypto PACs backing these candidates. Is this any different than what we're seeing from the Bill Gates, the Zuckerbergs, and the other libtard billionaires of the world? Your opinion?
I would say fundamentally no. That's what I would like to say, but absolutely it is. And the big difference is that when we're talking about big industries, you give your support to those big industries by going through their services, right? You are choosing to spend your hard-earned money to whatever they're doing. That's what happens with things like like high-end Balenciaga stuff. So when they bring out a couple things that you don't like, you cut. They're buying stuff, right, and then you make them hurt. But when we're talking about public money, when we're talking about contribution money, right? I mean, how can you do or restrict how they spend that money? I mean, yes, not voting for it, but that money is gone. It's gone, right? So I would say that yes, it is different. And not only that, I mean, once again, I'm not a U.S. citizen, but just like in my country, I would love to see that regulation. I would love to see not spending money to pump my markets up in that way. I mean, I don't know. I would, you know what? I would rather see that money going back to the public, not in donations, but in some other way, right? That I'm not giving suggestions at this point. I don't know. I just throwing the idea out there, right? Just like, for example, big companies do charity, right? And that they get that feedback back from
Yep.
the public. So is it different? Fundamentally, I would say no. They're seeking the same thing and they're using money to do the same thing, right? It's just like when we're talking about motivation and manipulation, they basically are the same thing, right? But just the end point and the source changes, right? On the end goal and the source changes. I think the same thing happens with politicians. Just the source, which is public money, and the end point, it also changes, right?
Yep.
So that's what I would say. And yeah, it's like you say, it's a delicate topic to talk about. But yeah,
You know what? I'm okay. I'm okay with it having a little bit of a perspective of being a lobbyist, prepaid lobbyist, because I'm all for crypto. So go for it. I just want to point out that. All those other people that I mentioned, the Bill Gates and the Zuckerbergs and everything, the billionaires, they keep voting for that left side. Those are the people that the left side is talking about that they're going to tax the hell out of, but they keep voting for him. Don't think that there ain't some handoff going on there with their stuff too. So, but I don't get to profit out of that. Jeff Bezos does, Bill Gates does, Zuckerberg, they profit out of that, right? Because of those behind door, hookups that they got from politicians because they gave them $20 million for a candidacy run. Crypto, I get to profit off of that. Not the CEOs, me, the people. We get to profit off of that. So that congratulations to you guys. Let's jump over here and take a look at this. Guys, we are seeing the Dow Jones up right now, 0.21%. This is real time. 0.22% on the Dow Jones to the upside. S&P up 0.03%, and the NASDAQ flat and neutral right now. We are seeing a little bit of strength in the markets. We just need that NASDAQ. Get back up there. Go green, NASDAQ. Stock market is about to do something extremely rare that we haven't seen in history. We'll talk about this. That will close out our stock portion, and then we'll jump in and take a look at that Bitcoin chart. S&P is on pace to deliver the second straight years of gains that are over 20%. Historical data shows us how uncommon this really is. After last week's post-election rally, the S&P is now up by 26% on the year. That comes in after the broad index climbed 24% last year in 2023. If the S&P 500 closes this year above 20%, guys, that would mark only the third time in the past 100 years that there have been back-to-back gains of that size of over 20% in the stock market, according to Deutsche Bank. The latest leg up comes as stocks has entered what Parrott thought a Deutsche Bank strategist called a sharp rally following a presidential election victory by Donald Trump. Rallies following close elections have been historical norms, as we have previously noted, but the current one is clearly faster than the prior ones. That called the market advance exceptional. Even before last week's surge, the S&P 500 was still within the uptrend channel of over 20%. So, guys, if we close over 20% at the end of this year, we could be looking at the third time in the last 100 years that the stock market has done this. And of course, as we always talk about, when it comes to correlation, if the stock market does really, really well, Bitcoin's probably doing really, 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 really well. So, let's go stock market. Get it. Let's jump into the chart. Let's talk about some Bitcoin. Let's get into some TA. What you think, OC? Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's get it. All right, guys. So here is this chart. I call this the trade fly zone. It's right there, TF zone. You can see it right there above my head. This was the 2021 double top that we had here. And this is where TradeFly, not OC, called for his top in the 2025 Bitcoin prediction video. He said 88,000. That is about the bottom of this. We did wick above it. And as of right now, we have not had a candle close. A candle close above that level. Looking at this on the 3-day, if we put this on the daily, we actually rejected at 89,000 or 88,954. I'll call it 89,000. So we are seeing that there is some validity to that call of the 88,000 range. It just took a little bit longer, I think, for him to see it in here. But guys, we're in consolidation. We're going to jump it over. Before I get into too much TA, I want to talk about consolidation so that when we refer consolidation zones where we could be looking at support, you'll understand what that means. OC, let's kick it over to your chart because if we're talking about consolidation, we got to talk about Wyckoff distribution. Let's go ahead and see what you got on your chart there, bro.
Absolutely. So let's bring it up here. And also I'm going to be comparing for what we've been talking about for a long time. So let me just paste this image in here. This is for the Wyckoff method. A couple of things that I want to talk about this. We've been following on this possible pattern here, right? Both in this one and in this one. Let me go first to my ideas, right? On the ideas, guys, I want you guys to look at the dating here, May the 13th, 2024, right? Let me just go into this one very, very quick. And then remember that we were talking about this same area. Remember this same area? Look at what we got here. A Wyckoff distribution breaking to the upside with a spring being this one, right? We were analyzing for it to be the head and shoulders. It did not end up being the spring. Well, it did, but we had one more wave, so it was an extended Wyckoff charting here, right? I just want you to kind of like a look at when we were talking about this, right? Once again, let me pull it back up or back down, or yeah, just go back here. That was on May 13th, right? Today we see other analysts on Twitter bringing this up, right? I mean, I don't know if they've been following us or anything, but it just looks pretty amazing. Something that I want to talk about, it is this area right here that we just got, right? Let me just move my charts a little bit out. Let's go even to daily so we can see, we can fit everything all together. All right, so here's what we got. So the huge cup and handle with a big breakout. Remember, in fact, we already had that prediction. We were looking at it right here to my right. So it doesn't, because of the zoom, I'm gonna be just clicking here so we can see it, the big cup and handle that we were talking about for a long, long time ago. All right, once again, we've been keeping track of this. So this is not a new news. All right. Let me move this out of the way as much as I can. There we go. And as we can see, we had this area right down here being something around this area, which is actually the same area, right? Now they're saying that this is a possible Wyckoff continuation, right? I mean, that is completely what it seems like, right? And what is up ahead for the future? Well, then a further move to the upside, they have copied this area right here and pasted here, and then use a Wyckoff distribution from before, and then paste it somewhere around at the top, and then going back down. You can look at those targets that they're using. At this point, let me zoom in. I can't. Let me just make it big. Sorry. And they're estimating somewhere around 145 ish for a possible target, right? I would say that depending on how the rest of the market reacts, which is institutional money, we might be seeing this higher or lower, right? Another important thing is what is up ahead, right? I mean, let's not keep out the eye on the possible scenario that we have a big crash, right? Um, Remember that everybody just said, well, right now we're seeing a couple of other analysts saying that crypto is going to be the next bubble. Could be, but not as a bubble. Remember that Bitcoin will react to the markets. That is what it's designed for, right? Because if it doesn't represent the markets, well, what of a value does it represent? What it needs to be unpegged from, it is going to be the fiat and also the manipulation of fiat. That's what it needs to become unpegged. But at this point, remember that we're using fiat to transport value from fiat, right, to Bitcoin, which is not printable, right? So I just want to throw that out there. So be warned that we still could be having a big retracement, not right now, but as macro economy leads the way, right? So just be careful out there and be prepared for what that happens. In the meantime, let's enjoy what the market is bringing or is giving us, which is a big pump. And as you can see, we can still go into somewhere around 100K, not that far away from what we got in here. So I think this is not only spot on, but also I will just leave it till this peak, right? Why? Lesson learned. We had a fake out previously here, and I thought this would have been the Wyckoff breakout. It did not. It proved me wrong. We had it on the next peak. So let's just leave it at here. I would say leave it up to here, and let's then analyze for whatever is going to happen, either a retracement or a movement. Something else that I want to point out is that I usually count to three when we're talking about Wyckoff. This is something that I came up with. This is nothing scientific, but I've been backtesting this, and this is amazing how well it plays. Let's go to smaller scales first. So let's go to, for example, 4 hours, and let's go to the beginning of that Wyckoff distribution area for the drop back down, right? So this is it. So we have coming down, little range, Wyckoff distribution continuation, right? First, there we go. Let's count it. One. Then coming back down, a little range, V-shaped recovery, the higher, not higher than the previous range, 70% chances of ranging. There we go, second or Wyckoff. Then the third one here plays out, then huge range. So the third one plays out, the huge range, and then we change course after that huge range, right? Now let's invert that. So first one coming up, right? Wyckoff distribution, right? First one. Second one coming up, bigger. So we still need to go to do one more and then a huge range. So I would be venturing to say that maybe this previous picture was not, or I will be adding one more. Let me just Control C this. If maybe I can re-add it. There we go. I would say that maybe I will be adding one more Wyckoff thing here before we go back down like that. So let me just change that color so you guys can see it really quick. There we go. Maybe adding one more Wyckoff distribution. So we have first one, second one, third one, third one, 1, 2, and 3. And then we have the retracement. That's what I will be guessing that could be it. Nonetheless, this is a big Wyckoff prediction, and I love it. I think we need to keep a close eye on it. And we have, right? We have since at least a published segment on May 13th. Turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. We got 102 people watching this live right now. Shout out to Alex O for sending his gang over here also. And then shout out to 2Dub. We got 2Dub in the house. Wick's wife, Fine 89 in the house with us also. Guys, if you guys are just joining us here, don't forget to smash that like button. Help out the algorithm. Welcome to the Morning Market Report here on Piper Academy. Let's jump over into my chart. I want to talk about a couple of things over here that we're watching, and we'll do some of this in real time. Because I was setting it up in the background. But guys, if you guys haven't seen these fibs on my chart before, this is a trend-based fib extension. And I learned something last night from Magic Internet Money. If you guys didn't see it last night on Crypto Nightcap right here in Piper Academy, we have multiple shows throughout the day. Crypto Nightcap with FD White, Invest, and TradeFly. They were on there talking about, with Magic Internet Money, talking about trend-based fibs. Immediately caught my attention. I'm a fib trader and I love trend based, and I have this fib that's pulled right here from, you can see the 3 white circles, the low back in 2018, I mean, and then the high in 2021 and the low in 2022. And it gave us these fibs, and I was like, my fibs are amazing. Look at them. They're beautiful. Look at this. We got our rejection in March perfectly on the top of the platinum pocket, 887 right there. We pulled back down, almost got a 50% bounce here on this wick, and then we got all of the support in the golden pocket. Now we're heading up. We broke the 1-to-1 line. I did call out on Joe Trade Intuition's show in the chat the other day. I said, look for 81,331. If you take a look here, guys, look at 81,331. I was like, this is it. Guys, don't ever be afraid to go back and relook at what you think you know. This level here, we got a lot of fight right here on this level. And then once we pumped it through, I said, look, if we go through that, we're going to be heading up to 96,000 here, I should say. And then up here, you know, we're easily looking at the golden pockets up here in 120 range, $120,000 range. Keep in mind that chart that OC just showed was 147,000. Here's what I learned yesterday from Magic Internet Money, and shout out to Mim. He's amazing trader, and he knows his stuff, knows it really well. This is what he said on the show. He goes, if you're looking at a trend-based fib with moves that include, you know, movements of 2,000%, right? You should be looking at it in logarithmic. So watch this. Here we go. You guys ready? We're going to do this. This is the lesson that Piper learned last night. Let's put this in logarithmic and take a look at what happened. Our rejection actually was on a 50%. And we retrace perfectly back to the 382. Guys, what do I always say about the 50? And how did I not know about this before? Here's what I learned. I always say, when we come up to the 50, we get a rejection, it's bearish. Well, what did we have from that March high? A bearish move to the downside. That is the last low that we had before we started making higher lows and a change of structure there, right? That would put the golden pocket now up here in the range of $104,000 to $119,000. Okay, that's the target. I do believe that we are going to be hitting this 104 to 120, 119 here because we're going to go to the golden pocket. If we do get a rejection here, guys, very possibly could pull all the way back to $72,600 for a retest of the 50 from the top side. Remember, we did it here from the bottom side, came back. That would be the retest of the 50 from the upside, bouncing up again. High side on this, guys, for the platinum pocket run is $175,000 to $240,000. Now, let's go here in real time and let's do this in real time because I want to show you guys another thing here. Let me get rid of this. We're going to do this here in real time. Bear with me. We're going to go back and look at the history before, okay? Because I showed you guys how I pull those highs to lows to highs that I just did there. Let's go back and do this again on a previous cycle, okay? So we're going to pull from right here in 2015 up to the top right there, and can I get it locked on? You can do it. There we go. Down to the bottom here. That was the top side, by the way, in 2017, down to the low of 2018. Let's get that locked in. There we go. Guys, look at where we got the bounce at. This is what Magic Internet Money was talking about last night. This was the top in 2021 on the golden pocket. If we are to do that again, guys, I just showed you, there it is. That golden pocket would be a $104,000 to $119,000 top on Bitcoin. Let me know in the chat. Is that the top? Put gold, put GP if you think we're going to the golden pocket in this cycle. Put PP if you think we're going to go up and touch somewhere in the range of 175,000 on the 786 this cycle. Just keep in mind, historically, like I just showed you, historically, golden pocket tops is what we see in cycle run from highs to lows to highs. So that's what I'm seeing there on the chart. Shout out to Magic Internet Money for dropping that alpha yesterday. Go back and watch it. It was last night, Magic Internet Money, the guest on the Crypto Nightcap. You'll see FD White, Trade Fly, Looking Fly, smoking cigars, holding a drink. You can't miss the thumbnail. Magic Internet Money's beautiful face right in the middle of it. So, guys, yeah, that's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. Let's talk about the current thing that's going on right now because I wanted to give you guys these levels so that you understood what we're seeing. But let's go back and let's look at where we are right now on the 4-hour chart, and let's talk about these levels that we could be heading back to. There we go. Let's get that over here, and then we'll come back and start looking at some altcoins because we are at the top of the hour. Again, shout out to everybody that is joining us in the chat right now. I appreciate you all. You guys rock. It is great having you here. Let's talk about this chart. Because if I look at this right now and we put this back, let's do some fib zones here. I do have a little, there we go. If we pull this fixed range volume profile here from this low point that we had here, this is going to be on Monday. This was the point that we broke into the platinum pocket and just went off on a crazy rally here. Guys, we are coming in right now on the value area high of this. This is coming in at about $84,800. We almost hit it there. We do have a nice little candle. It's dojiing out. It's crossing out here. We got a little doji uncertainty, but it did pull back up. The bulls are taking control in this range here. If you actually look, I'll bring this into focus so you can see there's actually a volume break right there. And that's what we hit, was that volume break right there. So we are hitting some key levels of volume nodes on the fixed range volume profile right now. But looking at this pull up to the back to the upside, guys, we have to go and say, okay, well, what are we looking at the $90,000 range? For that, let's go over and take a look at the heat map. Sorry if I just blinded everybody. That blinded me too. Right here on the heat map, guys, we do have a nice, on the 48-hour, a nice little heat range coming in at about $90,600. Let's go back and look at $90,600. Yeah, that's going to be right above a liquidity grab on this previous wick. This wick right here came in at a high of $89,993. 90,600 is the level that I think that we're going to see a run up to based strictly on the heat map. The heat map has given us a nice hot level. Let's go and look at some lower time frames here, or higher time frames, and see what we're seeing there. 3-day, we do have 90,500, 90,600. We don't really get a heat spot until about 78,000 on the downside. What are we seeing at 78,000? Is there anything down in that range? 78,000, that would be a little bit above the point of control here. Now, one thing that I want to point out, you see this consolidation period that we had here on Bitcoin where we had the big pump, it consolidated over, created this point of control, and then we got another launch off. Let's go and pull this fib. Oh, excuse me, this not the fib. Let's go and pull this fixed range volume profile over into that level, and let's see how that looks. So that now we're looking at this from the run up to the current level. Did I not get that right? I did not get that right. Let's draw a new one. Let's do that. Let's just go here. There we go. If we look at this level, guys, we have the value area low right here, coming in again at the 1-to-1 line on those fibs on my non-magic internet money, on linear fib extensions coming in right there. So I do think that we could be pulling back to $81,000. If we're going to do that, we may see a big wick push down into that 78,500 range to grab the liquidity, and then that would give a very, very hard buy point for bears or for the bulls to buy it all back up and push it right back in. Again, that 78,000 is coming in right here above this whole consolidation zone. So that's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin right now. Those are the levels that I'm watching. OC, are you seeing anything on the current time frame? What do you think about that 90,600 range? What do you think about that 78,000 dollar range? Are your oscillators telling you anything of interest? So let's kick it over to your chart, see what you got.
Absolutely. So I already have a little bit of a mess in here. Let's just leave that for the next class. Let's go to a cleaner chart here so we can go from scratch on. Let's take a look at what I have drawn yesterday. This was a little bit of a range. Remember that I was telling you yesterday, hey, just be a little bit careful just in case we have a fake out. Why did we could have a fake out at this point? Well, because we were very close to the top of the oscillator, right? And it seems that we could be forming there, or we were a little bit late. If we went on the daily, we were a little bit late for that flip of the ribbon, or that goose head, sorry, and we could be having a little bit of a dramatic pullback, something like that. All right, so it did not play out. Once again, we still had a little bit more of a chance to move upwards, and we did, right? So right now, let's start using a couple of things. One of my favorite things in here is, all right, do we have any support and resistance? Of course not. Why wouldn't we? Because there are no past data to refer that support and resistances. So shout out to Chart Prime, because if you're looking for something that predicts the future, and I'm not getting, guys, once again, it's not fully predicting, right? But it does have predictive mathematics, right? Like, for example, the predictive ranges. Oh, come on. Once again, their predictive ranges. Here we go. I got it this time. So important part of predictive
ranges. You can
ranges,
do it, OC. You can.
Yeah, absolutely. The third one is the charm, right? Perfect. So you'll see that we have the first predictive ranges playing out at this point. Since we, oh, come on, let me just move this. Perfect. At this point, as we were breaking this area, or this last predictive range, when we started looking and breaking the next predictive range, because we have a breakout, a confirmed breakout, well, then we have just printed predictive ranges in here, right? So these are based on possibilities or on mathematics to tell you chances up ahead where price will be bunching up, right? I like to have them tied up here. They look at volatility, they look at price action, and they give you mathematically based where the new possible support and resistances will be placed, so you can plan for the next possible range, all right? Having said that, well, then seems like we have a couple of resistances. The next possible resistance is at 96,900, and then we are basically just retracting from the 89,000 here. So really quick, we are very close, but we still don't have neither a red triangle nor a confirmed flip of the ribbon. So reaching the 97 still with a possibility. Will I be buying here? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Why? Because we are at the edge. I mean, if I buy here, I will be just kind of like looking for that last piece of the crumbles, right, or the crumbs, just to grab it here. I rather wait for the pullback, or then the support or continuation, which I will be jumping in right down here when we have flip of the ribbon. Why am I circling this area? Because we can start making right here a trend line on the oscillator and look at where we could be getting to. In fact, you know what? I was a little bit wrong. Here we go. This would make sense. Something else that I really like, shout out once again to Chart Prime, it is the Prime Oscillator. I want to use this on the 4-hour. So let's go to the 4-hour really quick. So we have like right away possible bounces. I think that we're going to be making that little range in here based that we are bouncing off the central line, and we have the golden range, or the two golden areas here to bounce from a little bit. All right. So when am I going to be looking, or what am I going to be looking to do here? First of all, remember this is RSI. Now we have open closes and candlesticks here, so we can do prediction or candle predictions, right? So the first thing we're going to be doing is measuring the actual trend, range that we are within, right? If I start breaking this range, I'm going for next support areas, all right? And then if I start bouncing up, well, then that's when I start looking for support at here at the top and then jumping in. Guys, this is a free indicator for Chart Prime. Please go ahead and download it. This is crazy powerful, especially if you do the Piper way, right? So let's take a look at how Piper configures it. By the way, Piper, correct me if I'm wrong, but you go over style instead of candles, which I like candles with patterns. Why? Because I can do candle structure predictions or analysis, sorry, and then he goes to Heikin Ashi. Why Heikin Ashi? Because it lets you visualize in an easier way trends, right? So as you can see right here, instead of having that itty bitty piece of, let's go back just so you can see it, that itty bitty piece of green candles in here, let's just give it a second. Come on, faster. There we go. You see that? That might bring some confusion. Well, then when you change it to Heikin Ashi, and by the way, this is the only zone where I will be using Heikin Ashi. I don't use them on price action here. I only use it right here. So as you can see, while using Heikin Ashi, you get rid of that confusion area, and then you have a very well-defined area where the trend was right here. So we just broke into a red trend. I'm going to be trying to jump in as we start flickering back and forth with the Heikin Ashi. You see that? This area, good for DCA, right? This area, good for DCA. And then, boom, there we go, the explosive movement, right? Once again, this area, not a retracement, right? When we start flickering, there we go, good for DCA. And boom, we start once again changing. So the next thing I'm looking for is that itty bitty, let me clear this up, itty bitty tiny candle, right, at the bottom, itty bitty tiny candle at the bottom for then start expecting a retracement. That's what I'm going to be looking for at this point before I try to jump back in on this retracement. So patience, guys. Look for your confirmations and then always use a stop loss. Other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
Shout out to Alexandra G. She dropped 5 memberships in the chat, and I appreciate you, Alexandra G. Best mod in the business, guys. Drop a 1 in the chat if you think that Alexandra G is the best mod in the crypto space. I think she is. I'm going to drop a 1 in there right now. Let's go talk about what some people said in the chat here. So we had somebody say Givers here too. Yes, and let's talk about Givers. Speaking of Givers, I want to talk about this, guys. Tonight over on X, we're going to be having Billy Goat Tells Givers Gain, hashtag Givers Gain. If you know, you know. They're going to be talking about the Cardano space with Banker Coin ADA is our special guest on the X space tonight. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do not miss this. They're going to be talking about the Cardano community. They're going to talk about all the different things that take place in the ADA, the Way Big Project AMA with Banker Coin ADA. Hashtag Cardano taking off, guys. And right now, we're talking about Cardano. So I do think that we're going to come back and take a look at that chart in just a second. OC, if you can get that chart up. But I want to talk about this real fast here because we're talking about this consolidation pullback here. But Katie Stockton says Bitcoin could be heading to $98,000 next after some short-term consolidation. Market participants have been watching the so-called Trump trades on the back of the elections. The cryptocurrency market is one that was strongly impacted by Trump's victory last week, noting Bitcoin subsequently gained about 23%. So you guys are seeing a lot on the charts of a lot of overbought. Everything's overbought, right, on Bitcoin. But she's saying that because of how long it consolidated, it can absorb a lot of that. The breakout resolves a 7-month-long corrective phase to the upside in a bullish intermediate term development. The weekly MACD is positive after flashing a timely buy signal a few weeks earlier. This should allow overbought conditions to be absorbed for some time. So she's saying that the fact that we're hitting overbought on all of the charts, guys, we had such a long consolidation period that it can be absorbed for quite a while. Looking at the Bitcoin on the monthly here, it just broke out of that trend to the upside, and you can see the MACD is showing positive momentum right now. 98,000 breakouts to new highs often instill questions about upside potential. When there's no resistance left on the chart, we can apply a measured move price projection to derive a target. In the case of Bitcoin, an aggressive measured move targets approximately 98.1K based on the 2023-2024 up move projected from a corrective low in August. We saw that low, it pulled back since March. Former resistance near $73,800 is now the initial support following the breakout. Investors in Bitcoin should welcome the breakout as an extension of the uptrend. The prospective investors should see it as a reason to revisit their charts. So, even other analysts, guys, they're still pointing to that almost $100,000 range, even off of, what I showed you on the fibs, it was hitting in that range. And that's what we're also seeing is that more upside move. I think that we do get a little bit of a consolidation, but I think that we have more upside to go. So shout out to Massey33 in the chat. How you doing there, man? Yeah, let's go over to your chart, OC. Let's talk about ADA, because ADA's getting a little pullback right now. And Jesse said this might be the time to buy some more ADA. So let's go look at that chart and see what we're seeing on there, man.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at first what we've been talking about ADA, right? Remember, exit point, taking some profits, and then jumping back in for tipping number one. And then guess what? Overextension right down here. Well, then I know you cannot see it like properly. Let me just turn on my order blocks on my, there we go. Areas of entry. There we go. This area, as you can see, we nailed it at this point. This is also a possible Y-cup. Why? Because we're coming down the range V-shaped recovery. High, not higher than the previous range. That gives us 70% chances of ranging, right? Then what we got? A spring. There we go. Going back into the area here and then breaking out and then continuation. So beautiful Y-cup played out here. What is up next? So up next, we have, let me just get rid of this. Perfect. We have a huge, for God's sake, a huge movement on ADA. I loved it. I loved it. But something that I'm not liking at this point are these 2 weeks up here. Let's take a look at what had happened on absorption zones. That for me is an absorption zone. Let me just clear this up so we can see it previously. Does that looks like this? I don't know, man. It looks to me like it does. It's not even that sharp or pointy, right? We don't have those wicks, but usually when we start having that wicking action to the upside, it's time to start just having a little bit of caution there, right? Could this be opportunity to buy? It could, but then what the edge, OC, right? You're telling me that this is bearish, so why could you also say that it's time to buy? We're going to be using both our oscillator and our RSI prime to figure that out. Remember, what am I expecting? Just the same as I'm expecting with Bitcoin. Let's change that to Kaikin Action to make it a little bit more clear. Guys, remember, what am I expecting? Itty bitty candles, right? Itty bitty candles in here, right? When I start having itty bitty candles or even a change of candle color and not losing some big supports, and let's bring those support with predictive ranges. There we go. Look at what am I looking at here? The golden area. You remember on Bitcoin, I was telling you also, guys, that we could be ranging between that golden range, right? Not to be confused with golden pocket, just so you know, golden range. So as you can see, this one is playing out the perfect scenario, bouncing, bing bong between the golden lines in here, right? So if you're feeling extra risky today, or you want to dig in, you could start looking at these areas for entries, right? And just going to our oscillator here, I will be looking for a possible flip of the ribbon soon, which is going to be taking me back to high areas. So buy, sell, buy, sell. Do not sell at all. Do not buy at all. So when it breaks, well, then you are still within that trade, right? And then you keep making a profit. So that is called hedging. If you don't know, let's just read a little bit about it. It's pretty interesting, but be very careful. It's an advanced strategy, because as much as you can increase your capital, well then as much as you can lose or faster lose your capital also, right? Just be careful there. So just to summarize things, I'll be looking flip on the ribbon at support, and also much better and with more accuracy, tiny candles at any support area for a long and then change or continuation of trend. That will be my next big entry. When I see a change of color, right? Tiny candle change of color at some support or at some support for the next movement to the upside. Other than that, turning it back to you, Piper. What do you think about the ADA, by the way? I mean, after this huge movement.
Um, I think Ada's got some good things moving, and I think Charles Hoskinson is giving some really good media out with his whole spokesperson of crypto that position that he's going to be moving into. It's going to be pretty good, I think. I think ADA is going to make a turnaround. I just don't know how high it's going to get to right now, but as of right now, yes, I'm starting to flip a little more bullish on ADA again. Let's jump over to my chart. We had a request for Doge. Let's talk about Doge here. We'll go back to single screen for 1 second. Here we go. Guys, we did get a nice top here, about 44 cents here on Doge, wicking down and then started to drop. You can see, again, we had that consolidation period, so don't worry a whole lot about overbought, but we are kicking back into a downtrend ribbon here, just like we had before. So keep in mind here, it was just a small consolidation. This one getting a little bit more of a pullback. Money flow is starting to curve to the downside. Volume is starting to drop. True 7 is coming down. So right now the oscillator is telling us a story, excuse me, about downside move. But what I'm going to be watching here, I got a couple of things on my charts that I want to show you. Let's talk first about the Oracle Pro and what it's telling me, because it is giving some level. No, I'm sorry, the Market Dynamics Pro. It is giving me some levels here. One is we do have a fair value gap printed down here. This is coming in about 31 cents here to the downside, about 29.5 cents. So we'll call it 30 cents, just in that range there. Another thing that I want to point out is that on this chart, let's isolate off the Oracle or the oscillator, and let's go turn off the fair value gaps, and let's just talk about these predictive ranges, guys. Predictive ranges, they do a phenomenal job of predicting the price ranges that you can see, and there's some lines in here. We have an upper frame, a lower frame. This is your bounce, your support zone. This is your resistance zone. So typically you'll get a rejection in here. You'll find support in here. But a majority of price action occurs between these two gold lines and this delta median right in the middle. If you go back here and take a look at the price action. There's your top gold. There's your bottom gold. Price action typically plays in there. We broke above this and we got into the rejection zone. I do think that we're going to see price here on the 4 hour come back down into our pocket zone that we typically trade in. That would be between 35 cents on the top side, 27 cents on the bottom side. This green wave you see down here, guys, this is a 3D trend. It's in beta right now from Chart Prime. I've been testing it out. It's been phenomenal. You can see all the support that it keeps giving once it fires off. Let's go over here and take a look at what it did on the bottom side. We got rejections on the sell-off here multiple times near that zone. Once it got support on it, it flipped into green and up it went. Okay, the 3D trend zone is coming in right now at the bottom of that gold line. So there's your gold pocket again of the predictive ranges. We are coming into line with the 3D trend in there. Okay. Let's go put this back onto the side by side, and let's talk about what we're seeing on RSI primed here on the heat map. Put these back on auto together, and there we go. Let's talk about this now, because you can see here that we did have the ranges here of very, very hot RSI. This is set into Heikin-Ashi. This is the RSI primed that OC was talking about a little bit ago. And it went flat and almost black on the candles. It was so red. Look at how dark these are on the way up there. And now we're getting a little pullback cool off here on the 4 hour. Guys, that level that we're talking about for the delta median here inside of the gold pocket here on the left right there, that gold, that line is coming in right in line with the daily Bollinger Band also. guys, I do think we do get a cool back here, back down to about the 70% line. That would give time for all the oscillator on the left to cool off. It would give time for the RSI to cool off, and it would give us a very good support range right back in here on these levels. Let's go and pull real quick fib over here on the left side chart. Let's go back and isolate that off. And let's just do a quick fib here, run up from the top, bottom to the top here, and see where we could have some support for some ranges here. We did get a nice pullback there on the hourly, so we'll run that from there to there. Guys, that is going to be coming in with the platinum pocket right there in that range. Also, that delta median coming in right on the golden pocket. That's coming in at 61.8. That is the 0.61 AME coming in at 32 cents there on the golden pocket, 28.8 cents there on the platinum pocket. That's what I'm seeing on Doge. We are a little bit past the hour, but I wanted to get Doge in because we had somebody talking about it. So Win 3D trend. Great question. OC and we put on boxing gloves every day and fight with the developers over there. They're really busy on another project. We can't talk about that project yet, but there is something huge coming to Chart Prime. But they're also getting stuff ready for the Black Friday sale. So if you guys don't know, big Black Friday sale coming. Lots of deals coming on that. And some, I think they're bringing back the lifetime offer. So that's going to be really cool too. But we are working to get that 3D trend. OC, we are a little bit past the hour. We've got to go raid the frat house with Randy Hipper and see if our frat mom has made our tendies yet. Go in there, drop your graduation caps in the chat. Let them know that we are here. It's a regular emoji. Just go in and put grad and you'll see graduation caps there in the emoji. And you can drop that in the chat. OC, what do you got for the people on the way out besides smashing that like button? Just tell them, what happens to the Bitcoin price today if they smash that like.
Guys, thanks so much for joining. Please smash that like button, because if you smash that like button, price of Bitcoin will get to your desired level, rather up or down. Just click it. The more you click it, the more it moves. Just make sure it's on pairs so we get the like here. And also, if you comment in the video, well, you're going to be finding that hiding stash under your couch for Black Friday. So if you're missing a couple of bucks, go watch that. Sometimes it works. Also, in the car, below the seat, that is your coins. So go watch them and grab them. So just click that like button for that advice. Hey, guys, see you guys on the next one.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us today on the Morning Market Report. We appreciate everybody who joins us here every day. We will be back here tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge in the space, because knowledge is profit. Also, don't forget, tune in tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Crypto Nightcap is going to be live with FD White Invest and with TradeFly. And then we might have an afternoon show. I don't know. I got to see what's going on with my schedule today. I got some things moving on, but we also have Billy Goat Tells tonight. We have tomorrow morning. Good Morning Crypto is going to be live here. And then, today, this afternoon, the thing that I got going on, I am going to be live today on Crypto Blood Show, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So at 12 o'clock my time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be live on Crypto Blood Show. Tune in for that, and then we'll be back here at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Guys, let's go raid Randy Hipper's house. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Market Report. Trade safe, and as always, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. Sound off.
To get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean.
That was awesome, dude.